16 miles at marathon pace with a warm-up and a cool-down. This is week 5's long run. So this is how we're going to fuel today's run. We're back on the Morton, and this is the decided gel now that I'm going to be using for the marathon. And fluids is back to Tailwind. So if you saw last week's video, you know I tried the Morton fluid. It was all right, but it didn't particularly settle with me too well. So I'm going back to Tailwind because that worked really well. But this is still the only deciding factor I have, because a few of you actually made a really good point in the comments last week, which was, if you're able to sink as many Morton as you hope and you get your calories through the gels, your stomach's going to really struggle to digest any more calories from fluid. So maybe consider just taking water or electrolyte fluid. So that's exactly what I'm experimenting with. I'm going to be getting some precision hydration electrolyte capsules to try in fluid, and I've also got Bix hydration which I use. So I'm going to be trying those two out over the next few weeks as well, just to see how those settle in the stomach. So we'll do a little bit of a mix and match. I'm not too worried. I feel like with hydration, as long as I've got something that settles in the stomach, that's all that matters. This works, so that's what we're sticking with today. So gels every 25 minutes. The workout in itself is 3-mile warm-up, and then drills and strides, and then 16 miles at marathon pace, and then 2 miles cool down. So it's gonna be 21 miles in total. Once I hit marathon pace, I'm gonna take the first gel at 30 minutes in this run, so get the easy stuff out of the way, because I have just had a Morton gel before we start. And then once I hit that first one at 30 minutes, every 25 minutes thereafter. That's the plan. Let's see how we do. Right,
well, I know.
warm up done, pretty much. Yeah, 2.98 miles. We're about to roll into this. It's windy. It's yeah, I really don't know what to say. Let's just roll with it.
He's nervous. You can tell he's nervous.
Yeah,
Big step.
definitely, definitely nervous.
Someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best if I back my stuff like you sooner than this? Don't you think you wanna be for the best if I back my stuff like you sooner than this? Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess of you. Won't you tell me something new?
5 miles in, 30 minutes on the nose, 6 flat per mile. Feeling all right, but I think that's the extent of what it is. It's all right. I don't feel bad. Legs feel good. Breathing feels good. Heart rate's very good. 160 right now. But I don't feel like I've got that spark of life. So that's just the monotony and fatigue of marathon training, I think. So if I can bank this one, feeling like this, I'll be very happy.
Okay, so just over 11 miles in. Feeling okay. Still, 6:02 average pace now. Just dropping ever so slightly, but still holding relatively strong. The wind's proving challenging, but overall, got to be honest with you, the effort doesn't feel too bad. Just fatigue, I think, in the legs, making it hard to pick up the pace. But we're on for something pretty darn speedy anyway. Oh, done on the cool down. Matt's done 20. I'm just stretching mine to 21 for the 2 miles cool down. I feel like I'm shuffling at like 10-minute mile pace, but apparently I'm running 7:07 per mile. Not quite sure how. I'm absolutely done in. We did it. That was way harder.
So there we go, back to the car. 21 miles in the bank and we got it done. I was feeling a little bit flat today. Let me explain a bit more. The heart rate ended up being really good and my breathing was good and everything felt relatively good, but I think the fatigue is just catching up with me. And what sort of disappointed me a little bit today, like I'm going to sound really ungrateful because I've just hit all the paces that I need to hit. I've run a really good run and I've pretty much hit 70 miles for the week. So I'm really happy that I've managed to get it banked and it's all gone well. It was just the fueling that was really frustrating. So long story short, I took a Morton 10 minutes before we started, as I have done all the time. And then I took the first one on the run at 30 minutes. And in between the 30-minute and then 55 minutes, because I was then trying to take them every 25 minutes, I had a bit of tailwind and my stomach just groaned and gurgled. And then I started to break wind and I was just like, oh no, here we go again. Tailwind was fine for me 2 weeks ago. What's happening now? And at that point I had to make a decision, like, do I abandon fueling or do I abandon the drink or the gels? Which one do I do? And I thought, well, I want to really get used to the gels because that's going to be my main source of calories on the day. So I decided to abandon the tailwind and I didn't end up having any more. And Matt just reminded me of a really good point, which is probably exactly what's going on, and the fact that I've been able to take on these gels and fluids really nicely on the previous long runs because we're doing a lot of steady work. But today, as Will said in my training vlog last week, and as Matt's just reminded me, I'm at marathon pace, I'm at marathon intensity, I'm at marathon effort. This is a good time to practice what your body does when you're trying to fuel at that effort. It's all well and good chucking down gels at steady paces and easy paces, fantastic. But how does your body react during a marathon effort? So I ended up having 4 gels in total and then 5 if you include the one 10 minutes before, which is big progress from what I've previously been able to take. But I did feel really sick at the end for about 5 minutes. After I stopped my watch after the 21 miles by the car, just talking to Matt and Vic at the end, who I bumped into, who was running part one. It was great to catch up with her. I was just saying I feel really rubbish. I feel really rubbish. And then within 5 minutes it was gone. But what I noticed, right, is that it was all churning in my stomach and it was kind of, that wind sick, feel sick because there's a lot of wind in your belly. And I think the reality is that I've just got to keep grinding at marathon pace efforts by chucking gels down me and seeing how I react. The positive, I took on 5 today, 4 during the run, 1 before, so I've stomached 5. The negative, the tailwind just didn't work. And as a lot of you guys alluded to last week, you said maybe a calorie drink might not be the answer. So I've got some precision hydration stuff coming in this week, and I'm going to be trying some of their sodium capsules. I want to try those as an alternative to the salt tabs that I've taken on previous weeks, just to see what they're like. So next long run, because next weekend is Bourton 10k, the one after that I might end up trying just taking out water or just an electrolyte drink, and then taking some sodium capsules and see how that works. So a little bit more experimenting to do. Final decision from last week's video, maybe not the final decision now. It's always good to test these things at marathon pace effort. At the end of the day, I banked 3 miles warm up, 16 miles at 6 flat per mile marathon goal pace, and then 2 miles easy at the end, 21 miles in total. Really, really happy with that. So that is this week's long run done. Once again, a massive thanks to Matt for coming out with me today. Really appreciate his company. It was great. And really appreciate you guys supporting the journey as we go through to Newport Marathon in only 8 weeks' time. Excuse me, I'm choking. So I'm going to go and have a protein shake and get my backside home, because I've got a busy day today and tomorrow, and now it's half term, and I will see you guys on the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and I'm off. I'll see you in the next one.